ओम सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुसाक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। So in the last class, the verse number 45, we saw Vedantartha vicharena jayate jnanam uttamam teno atyantika sansara dukhanasha bhavatyanu. So that means it was very clear. The knowledge that will arise from the Vedantartha vichara, inquiry into the meaning of this Vedanta Shastra. And only by that knowledge, Atyantika samsara dukhanasa will happen. Means the complete destruction of this samsara sense of becoming will take place. And of course, when it talks about this Vedantartha vichara, how this Vedantartha vichara will happen? Is it like, sitting in somewhere and start doing something or other, just like that will happen? So what is the background and what one should really look at? So next verse, let us look at verse number 46. Shraddha bhakti dhyana yoga mumuksho mukte hetor bhakti sakshat rutergi Yova ete swevatisthati mushya muksho vidya kalpitat deha bandhat. Nothing is entering because neither homework, nothing. So everybody is looking at the script. So where is what? That's all, okay? But doesn't matter. So you should say, Swamiji, why are you chanting straight? You can go to the verse so that it becomes easier for you, easier for us, so that makes convenient. How? Shraddha Bhakti Dhyana Yoga Mumukshoho Mukte Hetur Bhakti Sakshat Rudegi. Very nicely, Sakshat Srutegi. Actually, Srutegi. Sakshat Srutegi. So, Srutegi. यो वै एतेषु एव तिष्ठति अमुष्यः मोक्षः अविद्या कल्पितात् देहबन्धात्. So first thing is he uses this word avidya kalpitat dehabandhat. Now if you look at, because of the ignorance, so kalpita means imagination, imposition of avidya. And of course, because of that reason, there is a bondage. So bondage of what? Bondage related to the body, bondage of the body. So that means the cause of, again, bondage is nothing but avidya. But for that what is? He says, look, Srutegi, this is being clearly said in Shruti, Bhakti is mentioned. Srutegi Bhakti mentioned in the Shruti, in the words of the Shruti, means in Veda. So what are they? Now let us look at this. The first is Shraddha Bhakti Dhyana Yogat. So that means you need to develop Shraddha. So don't ask me what is Shraddha, okay? And also don't translate as faith. So Shraddha translate as Shraddha. So we have seen enough. Let us not dilute, okay? And also bhakti. So bhakti, you can say devotion, that also we have seen in details. Swaswarupa anusandhanam eva. Already this definition we have seen it. Then comes dhyana yoga. So dhyana yoga, dwelling upon, generally we say saguna visaya dhyana, nirguna, saguna brahma dhyana, nirguna brahma, we have both. So dwelling upon. So when you say dwelling upon, that which is bigger, that is how the mind works. Because generally, mind dwells upon there where it finds interesting. And what is interesting for the mind? Generally, two things are interesting for the mind. The first one is where mind does not feel challenged or cornered. So wherever mind does not feel challenged or cornered, there mind finds its interest. Second, also, wherever mind is mechanical, there also mind feels comfortable also for that object situation, also interesting. And if these two go together, some way or other, some form or other, definitely that person, that situation or that object becomes much more interesting. And that is how mind starts dwelling upon. But here, dwelling upon higher things. So dwelling upon higher things, definitely whether it is Saguna Brahma, Ishvara, or the Vedantic teaching, contemplation, what we call as Nitidhyasana, we'll see it later on. So both mind will not find its interest, because it is only mind is going to be cornered, okay? So these two will not be allowed. So that's why dhyana job is, the job of the dhyana or during meditation, to make sure mind is either getting connected to the Ishvara, Saguna Brahma, or it has to be connected to the teaching. Not like the story, I have shared with you beautifully, not trading the horse while meditation. You understand? I think you are blank. Trading the horse. See, this is a very one story. So it's a life story it was. That there was a Swami, very nice in fact. In fact, he was a prince. And he left and he became a Swami. Okay, living, and he was staying in the jungle those days. So one day, because those days small kingdoms were there. And this person went to meet a king, and of course the king was busy in puja and meditation, and he was not allowed to meet. Then the security people said, sorry, this is the puja time, he is doing meditation. No, tell that one Swami has come to meet. No, sorry, this time nobody can meet. Okay, tell your boss. He should not do the horse trading, especially that black horse, okay? And of course, he vanished. And when this king woke up from his puja meditation, and of course come out, the security person said, look, there was some person, a Swami, said that wanted to meet you. No, okay, why do you know you are meditation? But however, he left a message that tell your boss not to do the trading of horse, that black horse while in meditation. The king was destroyed, not shattered, destroyed. Because while meditating, he was thinking of this black horse, okay? How to get that black horse? So how much it should cost? What will not happen? What will you understand? So he was nicely, while closing the eyes, dwelling upon the black horse. So in the eyes of others, he was doing meditation. But while closing the eyes, he was doing horse trading. Can you see this point? So that may appear as meditation, but in reality is not meditation. So that's why here one has to dwell upon either Saguna Brahma or Vedantic teaching. And who is the person? Mumuksho. So there the king was not a mumukshu, okay? So when he was trading the horse, maybe that time he was a king or some other thing, okay? So if you are a mumukshu, the one who is desirous of liberation, and of course mukte hetun, and of course the person is really interested mukti in liberation, because mumukshu means only wants liberation. So these are the main factors. These are the key factors. What are they? Shraddha, Bhakti and Dhyana Yoga. And this is not by anybody. This is being said by Shruti. Shrutegi. These are the words of the Shruti that is being mentioned. And of course, Eteshu eva. So if you look at very nicely, so that means Eteshu eva tishtati amushya moksha. So it is very clear, if these are things are there, definitely the person is going to gain liberation, because liberation is what? Avidya kalpitan dehavandhaniti. So because the avidya, because of the ignorance, this is the imposition of ignorance, this person or any seeker or anybody is attached to body or develops bondage with reference to body, and you can add the word related to the body. Okay, if this is the case, now we would like to know in details what is all about this, how it happens. Let us read. Ajnana yogat paramatmanastavam hyanatmabandha stata eva samsruti tayo vivekodi tabodhavanni ajnana karyam pradahet samulam. Says beautiful. Ajnana yogat paramatmanah tavahi ajnana bandhah. So that means very clear. If you observe, basically this is paramatmanah. So me being Paramatma, me being the absolute truth, me being the, let us say, the Brahman, but because of Ajnana Yoga, so yoga means you don't think practice of Ajnana, okay? So yoga means, okay, I am practicing, okay? Yoga has got different meaning, different context. So here yoga means in contact with, in association with, tadatmya bhava, in oneness with. What? With ajnana, with ignorance. So because of the proximity, because of imposition, because of oneness with what? Ignorance. Now what happens? So there is anatma bandha. So I consider that I am different. I am not Atma, I am Anatma. How? As you know very well. For example, there is a crystal. So when there is a crystal, near to crystal, there is a red cloth. Now because of the closeness of the red cloth and crystal, now the crystal will appear as what? Red or not? Now what you will think? Will you think it as a crystal or a ruby? So the crystal will appear as though a ruby because of the association of the red color, red cloth or red color or whatever, red light. Now the crystal is no more a crystal but a ruby. Now the crystal starts jumping. Hey, look, I am such a huge ruby, big ruby. You understand? Jumping or falling down or whatever, that is up to the crystal. Understand? So also here, because of association with anatma, avidya, I would rather say because of avidya, that's why all association happens. Now I consider not as atma, but wherever I am associated, in keeping with the association, I consider that. For example, if I am associated with my child, I am a father or mother. I am associated with the knowledge. I am doctor or engineer. Sometimes I am a scholar, or I can say I am a swami. So if I am connected to ashram, I am blah blah blah, you know better. So wherever I am associated, now that association becomes me. Instead of me picking up that role and playing it as an actor, like on the drama, on the theater, on the opera, a particular role is being given for me sometime, for the time being. So I must learn to drop once that time is over. But what happens, sometimes it happens like a child. When a child gets a new dress, what does the child do? Does the child remove that new dress first day? I don't think so. Many children, I have noticed, they don't remove that new dress on the first day at all. And especially girls, of course boys also equally, girls are much more. So that's why the mother will allow the child to sleep with that new dress, then after that they will remove it. And sometimes child will get up and shout, where is my old, that dress, you understand? So how the child cries with reference to new dress. And of course, suppose you are playing the role of a king, very convenient role, and on you there is a crown and people respect it. Now what happens, even if your role is over, drama is over, still would you like to continue for some time or not? So that is how people do it. In fact, I don't want to tell you which is good or bad, I don't want to talk. In Orissa we have something called Ovan. I think that is the world's biggest open opera. Every year they do it till now. Where Kamsa, because Krishna will be born and all this, they, like from one village to another village they do it, so they do it a big way. So the Kamsa becomes the king, okay? So when the Kamsa becomes the king, now Kamsa will start ordering and people go to him daytime. So there will be a time we'll talk, how to, so you can go and complain. Now that is being accepted. So you can complain that look, this road is not good, or this is not that, or some complaint. And the Kamsa will, because being king now, so that time the collector will be there and he will say, ask collector, the district magistrate, why this is not being done. The authority, he will ask, this is to be done, and he will give the order. So authority will take a note and they repair it. So nicely they are doing it. So it's a new way. And sometimes that role continues not only the daytime. From night they have extended to daytime because to make it more fantastic. And of course in keeping with district administration. Now slowly that fellow also comes once in a while in different district, different places to listen to the complaints. So he wants to extend his territory, okay? So whether people accept or not, that's another thing, let us not talk, okay? So that is a publicity stunt. What I am trying to say is, if a role is very convenient, automatically you like to continue. And the best example would be this X, especially in India, this IS and IPS officers. IS means that Indian Administration Service, one of the topmost. IPS means police service. They love to continue with that. Of course they have job, okay, after retirement also they continue because they get into this commission, that commission, a lot of things are there. Apart from that, even if after the job, again for 5 years they continue. After that they will use X, you understand? XIS, XIPS. So this X word is so strong in them, especially because they have enjoyed the most power. Okay. So because they have enjoyed the powerful positions, they do not want to get out of that power so quickly. So always they maintain the word X. So how this X word plays a big role? Because the association of that, now because of Agyan, because the mind has found its interest in that, either it is not challenging or because of habit. Now what happens? I consider that. And because of that reason, he says what happens? Definitely, my Viveka Chudamani, I am taking this word differently. Now my Viveka is not there. Now he says, what to do here? He says, look, because of this reason, now you have lost the Viveka. Now, because of your Viveka Chudamani, when the fire, which is considered as Viveka, now this fire, or you can say the fire of knowledge. Now this fire of knowledge, which is called in the process of discrimination, that is going to destroy what? Agyana Karyam. So Agyana Karyam means the effect of ignorance. And how? Pradahet samulam iti. It will destroy. Pradahet prakarshanadahet. It will destroy, burnt it to ashes. Samulam, with root, without anything left behind. So that means it's very clear. Because I consider that I am someone, because of Ajnanam, I become that. Not only I become that, I come under the clause of samsara, this birth and death. And what is the birth and death? It's very simple. Let us say, if I am associated with my child, now I am a father or mother. Now when I am a father or mother, now whatever happens to the child, in keeping with the child, now I will be jumping. Whether wow or oo, both are jumping, okay? When child gets something, good thing, wow, my child, you understand? And of course when child does bad or something, and ooh, oh God, you understand? So this way jumping or that way jumping. So anyway it is jumping. Now what happens? Now because I am associated with my child, and child is not anybody but extension of me. Now in the process what I do? Because of the tadatmya bhava, oneness with my child, now I am under the clause or related to the child's success and failure. And when I am related to the success and failure of the child, that becomes my success or failure, and finally I am under birth and death. So this happens because of lack of Viveka. So that's why here Viveka Chudamani, the fire, literally. So when this fire of knowledge, called discriminative knowledge, only this tries to destroys, because the moment it happens, I start doing counteract. No doubt in it, that person is my child, but that child is another individual. That child has got its own prarabdha. I happens to be a father. I happens to be a mother. That's all. Like as the Khalil Gibran highlights, children have come through you, but they are not you. So also, when you understand this simplest word in different ways, of course with that Vedantic teaching, then what happens? Now the child's success will not make you jump. At the same time, the failure will not make you break down either. So you look at the child as a child. Of course, when it is required to applaud, when it is required to appreciate, you must. But when you appreciate genuinely for the sake of child, not for your sake. But generally, you appreciate for your sake or for the child's sake. So this happens because of lack of, let us say, Viveka, discriminative knowledge. So that's why whole concept is every time to make sure that whenever I am having association with any ajnana karya, the product of ajnana or any ajnana, so there I have to bring viveka. There I am supposed to look at what is going on, what is happening. That is what we call as contemplation or nitidhyasana. That's why sometimes it is better to know learning to draw a line. That's why if you observe, whoever is able to draw a line, that person delivers better. And the best example is judges all over the world. If you go to any court, especially Indian case, I am telling you is much more interesting. You will be shocked and surprised to know, in India till now, the judges of Indian court, they are not supposed to have their personal life much elaborately. In the sense that they cannot attend marriage, social life, personal life, social life, I made a mistake, social life they cannot have. A judge cannot socialize or cannot attend the marriage of a distance relative. Only able to socialize very close family, blood family. Because if you start socializing, let us say distance family, they are supposed some people have come. If that person's case is under you, because they will come to know if this judge is coming, let us go and meet. Now what happens? There is a possibility you may get biased. Forget about this aspect. Even if also you can see anywhere in the judge, anywhere in any part of the world, judges, they are being seated in high pedestal. There is a gap, solid gap. Not like parliament, okay? Remember, not like parliament that somebody will throw the chapel, okay? You understand? They make sure speaker is in very high post, okay? And not only that, next to speaker there will be two people, okay? So to protect speaker, okay? I'm sorry to say. In spite of that, don't worry, all our parliamentarians, okay, all over the world, they don't spare anything, okay, starting from the mic stand, from the shoe, of the shoe. So here in the judge case, it's not like that. So they make sure that judge is being put in a high pedestal. There is a gap, physical. So that means automatically when the judge being seated there feels that I am somebody, I am supposed to give the verdict which should be neutral, impartial. So automatically the judge is being given ambience where he develops or she develops sense of objectivity. Can you see this point? That is the purpose. It is being followed till now. Same thing also in our life. If we want to not get affected with the judgment, remember this point. Like if the judge becomes partial, will be affected with reference to judgment or not? If gives good or bad, with healthy or not? Because some way will get affected. That's why a judge is not supposed to associate oneself with the victim. If mentally the judge associates with the victim or with the lawyer, opponent lawyer or whichever lawyer, definitely that judge will not be able to sleep in the night. Because of this association. So that's why here it's very clear how the judge lives a life. And of course we are basically self-judgmental, worse than a judge. At least judge does judging, and for that he or she is being paid. You understand? And we are judging ourselves every moment. And out of this judgment, now we are developing a complex. Remember, all our complex is based on what? Judgments. The more I have complex in me, the more I am a judgmental. This is a good point today. The more complex that I have in me means the more I am a judgmental. A judgmental person only have complexes in oneself or in life. So that's why what is to be done here? So I have to be very careful, creating a distance between me and the object of association. That's why one has to be really clear and careful. That's why teaching really takes care of it. That's why the more one is associated with the teaching. For example, I am openly saying it. When I am with the teaching, now this teaching has to continue for some time. And more, when a person dwells upon the teaching, definitely cannot associate with anything or anybody in life. That's why teaching, dwelling upon the teaching has to be longer and longer. Okay, if this is the case, now the disciple is now scratching the head how to go about it, you understand? Poor fellow did not have chance. Now he says, look, I have some question. Sisya uvacha krupaya sruyatam swamin prashnoyam kriyate maya yaduttaramaham srutya kutartasyam bhavan mukhat. Say, look. So, Sisya uvacha. Now the Sishya wants to ask question. So what is that? He says, Krupaya Sruyatam. So, very nicely, okay? Please, kindly listen to me, because I may be a silly person, okay? Or I don't know what I'm asking. So that means here, humility. Not to draw the attention or to please. So kindly listen to me, O Master. O Swamin. O Swamin, kindly listen to me. Okay, what? Ayam prasnaha kriyateti. So that means now I am raising a question. And of course, yaya uttaram. So when kriyate maya, it's by me. Maya means by me. So now a question is being created by me or raised by me, or I am asking this question. You can take any format. Yaduttaram aham srutya kutarthasyam bhavan mukha. So when I am asking this question, I would like to listen from your mouth. Bhavan mukhat. So bhavan means very nicely, oh respected one, from your mouth. So generally we don't ask, no, you, we don't, what do you use? Because this English actually destroyed language. English is one of the dirtiest language, but we all talk in English, okay? And we feel proud that we are called knowledgeable person, okay? Hey, English is another language. English has nothing to do with, knowledge. But these Britishers did such a dirty job. One of the worst language made so popular. And all over the world people think English means you are a knowledgeable person. Till now in India, thank God Europe is not part of it, but slowly now Europe is getting spoiled, very unfortunately. So in India, any part of India, if you talk in a regional language, you are not respected. Whereas you go to the office or anywhere, talk little bit regional language and little more English. That's all. People respect you. That's why we have different languages, Tanglish, Onglish, you understand? So Tamil plus English called Tanglish, okay? Odia plus English called Onglish. So we have got so many English, okay? And interestingly, in India, you can make out, if you are little smart, from which part of India he has or she has come from the pronunciation. Viveka was walking on the veranda, okay? So automatically you can say, okay, person from Bengal, don't worry, okay? Anyway, joke apart. So coming back. So here he says, always we never use the word, or we never address the person directly who is respected. Not you, because you means what? You can call a small child you, elderly people who you, everything is you. Fantastic. So you mean, what does it, the you word mean, okay? But any regional language, we have different ways. However, let us not get into that point. So he says, look, hearing your answer that from your lips, from your mouth, definitely I will be aham kutartha. So I will feel blessed. So I will feel really grateful to you, because I would like to know. When this asks this thing, so what is the question? Can you see? Not straight away, Swami, what do you think of this? You understand? If somebody says, Swami, what do you think of this? That means, what does it mean? Swami says, I never think. So that is your problem. You think, I don't think. Okay? How? So what is the question? Now next verse. को नाम बंध कथमेष आगतः कथम प्रतिष्ठास्य कथम विमोक्षः कोशावनात्मा परमः कात्मा तयोर्विवेकः कथमेतदुच्यताम्. Few questions he puts at a stretch. So this is the beauty, that when you know what exactly you want, asking question is not a big thing for you. So he says, look first. Kah naam bandhaiti. So that means what? So what is indeed this bondage? What is it all about? Okay, fine. Then he says what? Katham esha agatah. So how does it come? Where from it has come? Okay. Katham pratishtha asya. How does it really continues exist? Where does it get support? Then after 3, then comes what? Katham vimoksha. And of course, how can one become free completely? Then 5th one, kaha aso anatma. So what is anatma? What is not self? Because you talked everything anatma, picked up from there. And of course, katham kaha aso, that's why 2 words. Also kaha paramatma iti. Paramatma kaha iti. So what is paramatma? What is the atma? What is not atma and what is atma? And of course, finally, tayoho vivekah katham iti. And of course, this text is called Viveka Chudamani. And also, what is the process of discrimination between this Atma and Anatma? Etat uchyata. Please explain me. So can you see how many questions in one stage? Kaha nama bandha first. Second thing means what is indeed the bondage. Second one is kathamesha agataha. How has it come? Where from it come? Also no problem. Then third says what? Katham pratishtha. How it is being sustained? How does it continue to exist? 3. 4 is what? Katham vimoksha. So how to get rid of, how to become free from this, how to become really liberated. And of course the 5th comes, what is Atma? Sorry, what is Anatma? 6th, what is Atma? 7, what is discrimination between both? So that means in one verse, 7 questions have been asked. Now, let the teacher break his head. Very nicely. When this sort of question comes, that's why seeing the question, one can understand the maturity of a person. That's why once in a while we ask the student to ask the question to understand the student mind. So when this sort of question comes, the teacher really understands. What is he understands? Let us read so that we'll stop it. Sri Guru Vacham Dhanyosi Krutya Krutyosi Pahvitam Te Kulam Tuyam यद विद्याबन्धमुक्त्या ब्रह्मी भवितुमिच्छसि. Really, this is a beautiful way of looking at. Straight away, this is what we look at. The Guru really replies, Dhanyosi krutya krutyosya. You are indeed dhanya. So when you say you are dhanya, that means what? You are really blessed. Dhanya, in India, we say dhanyavad, okay? So that means you are thankful, you are grateful. So when you are thankful, you are grateful, you are indeed blessed. Unless you are blessed, can you be thankful? So that's why dhanyavad, for anything and everything we say dhanyavad, thank you, thank you. Thank you not is a lip service. Nowadays thank you in English called lip service. Like you hand over something to the child, mommy will say, hey, tell the uncle thank you. The poor child doesn't know what is thank you. Thank you uncle, and run away. So the child has to be taught, hey look, be grateful to yourself, be thankful to yourself. You are blessed indeed. When uncle gives you a chocolate, that means uncle thinks of you in a big way about you, has a thought of you. That's why because the uncle has thought of you, that's why you are indeed great. So when you are indeed great person. That's why reciprocate that greatness. Automatically child will feel good, not because of the chocolate, because of the greatness. Can you see this point? But sometimes I remember we don't want to receive the chocolate because we have to say thank you. You understand? Then after the guest goes away, we'll ask, what did he bring? You understand? In the house, we'll go and do the raid. We do raid, okay? What did he bring? And if he has not brought according to our way, why is he coming here again and again? However, so dhanyosya krutya krutyosya. So that means you are really blessed indeed. Krutya krutyosya means you have done what is to be done. When you have done what is to be done, you are satisfied. And next one is pavitam te kulam tuya. This is a beautiful point, which is a really, so pavitam te kulam tuya means, if you observe, this is a beautiful we say, now your family is really sanctified or family is purified. Because of you, now your family is purified. That means you are somebody. How the family concept comes here. Please understand, whether you like it or not. If you look at it genetically, you are extension of your parents. If you look at it psychologically, the conscious and subconscious mind of you is related to your parents. If you look at karmically, also who you are, also related because of your parents. So that means there is a lineage. That lineage talks about. That's why if you are born in a good family, good lineage, whether you like it or not, wrong time, you cannot do wrong things. Impossible. I don't want to get into too much, but in short I can tell you, especially if you look at in India, those who have been played away during partition is especially India-Pakistan partition. Those who really left Pakistan and came to India. I don't want to tell any community, okay? You may believe it or not. Till now, even if 2 generations almost have gone, in their blood, they don't trust anybody. And they are not trustworthy at all. And they make sure that they want to somehow boss over and destroy everybody. Especially if you travel in Delhi, whether you are sitting in a place, some very elderly person wants to sit or something, they will not bother. First they will occupy their things, they will take care of themselves. They will push you. Let me not talk in details. The reason is what I am trying to say. This is very vividly visible if you really little bit get exposed. Because of the impact of gene. I will give you another example which is physically happened. Whether it is in Orissa, West Bengal, or it is in Europe. Especially because same time, as you know, when the Second World War happened, and that time we had here Bengal famine. And those who were affected with the Bengal famine, this is strategy, medical strategy I am giving you. And also those who are affected by this World War, Second World War, the gene has developed something in them. Whether they will like it or not, they would like to eat more and keep more fat on their lower abdomen. That's why all these babus from Orissa and West Bengal will have, you understand, tummy, portable television, you understand? And of course, equally in Italy I have seen. Because whether they like it or not, so it develops. Because the gene responds to that. Because when their father or mother, their parents have gone through the tough time, didn't have food, now their children, without their knowledge, the gene starts talking, hey, when the food is available, keep eating. Keep eating more. That's what they do it. So can you see how the gene responds very carefully without our knowledge? So now here is being said, when you do something, when you do bad, your parents are being, literally scolded and whatnot. When you do something, of course not only your parents, whole family, whole lineage is being respected. So pavitam kulam tuya. And moreover, he says, not only that, yet avidya bandhamuktya brahma bhavitum chasi. Why all these things? Because look, here you have something, not why you are going to really glorify your family. Because you wish to become Brahman. There is no becoming, but still the question, you wish to become Brahman because already you are Brahman. You did not want to become a doctor, engineer. You did not want to become something which is again another becoming. So when you wish, your wish to become Brahman, the absolute truth. And of course, how? Very carefully, also it's being used, Brahma Bhavit, which is avidya bandhamuktiya. By getting rid, by making yourself free from this bondage of ignorance. So that wish itself reflects how much effort your family has put for you, knowingly or unknowingly. It is not just like that because you did and you happened. No, I'm sorry to say. That's why we say very clearly, all over India it is there, all over the world it has to be there. To get a sadhu, to get a highly evolved soul in a family also contributes some way or other. That's why it is being beautifully said, Dhanyosi krutya krutyosi. You are indeed blessed. And of course you are blessing your family. Because Brahma bhavitam ichchasi. You don't have any other wish. You don't want to become an engineer, doctor, or somewhere to establish yourself or prove yourself, but you are interested to know yourself. And how to know yourself? Avidya bandhamuktiya, making yourself free from what? Avidya, the ignorance. And if you are that, definitely you are somebody doing something good job. And what you are doing it? Very nicely comes Runa Mochana Kartaraha Pitu Samti Sutadayah. He says, look, how you are making your parents free from their debt and obligation. That's why we say, when a person is interested in this knowledge, self-knowledge, not only liberates one's own self, also liberates the family. More of it we'll see tomorrow. Please close your eyes. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnahat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.